Hello guys, welcome to Sportic Live where we talk everything sports. Today we are going to talk about outstanding players in the history of football. In the early months of 2018, on a cold night in Turin, Juventus welcomed UCL reigning champions Real Madrid to the Allianz Stadium in a Champions League quarter-final first-leg clash. Anyone who watched that game wouldn't need me to say any more. It was a memorable night for football fans as Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick on enemy soil and even got a standing ovation from the home fans. His last goal, though, was a matter of extraordinary will, as the Portuguese athlete levitated above the head level of most footballers on the pitch to complete an overhead kick, completing his hat-trick. Real Madrid went on to progress to the semis despite losing the second leg 3-1. They beat Bayern Munich in the semis and met Liverpool in the final, who they beat 3-1 to claim a 13th UCL title as a club. For Ronaldo, though, this was his third consecutive UCL triumph and his fifth overall. This was in addition to the Euros he won 2 years prior, and he was also about to win the first edition of the UEFA Nations League a year later and add to his international trophy cabinet. At this point in time, Ronaldo seemed the clear winner of the Messi-Ronaldo debate, as the Argentine had won just 4 UCL titles and had no international honors. Ronaldo also led, as he continues to lead today, the goal-scoring goal against Juve in 2018. Today, though, just 5 years later, the story is looking quite different. Ronaldo has fallen out of favor with his last 2 employers, and his image has been severely tainted by a famous Piers Morgan interview, while Leo Messi, on the hand, despite enduring a heartbreaking departure from Barcelona, has also in that time gone on to win 2 Ballon d'Ors to add to the 5 he already had. Geez, there's even talk he'll win it this year again. And 2 major international titles, and surprise, the World Cup was the most recent of his accomplishments. Messi already has 7 Ballon d'Ors to Ronaldo's 5, plus Ronaldo has never even made it to a World Cup final before, and unless he makes the 2026 tournament, he never will. Messi seems to be the undisputed winner of the debate already, especially when you consider he's the favorite to win an 8 Ballon d'Or this year. Messi after the World Cup final in 2022. And since 2021 there's been talk about this GOAT debate that has been revolving around just Messi and Ronaldo, like they were the only ones to ever touch the ball. The GOAT debate just keeps revolving around these 2. Yes, fair play, Ronaldo and Messi are the greatest players of this generation, and if Messi goes in to win the debate, he can comfortably be recognized as the greatest player of the 21st century yet. But when it comes to the all-time conversation, there's a certain player that comes in the way of calling either Messi or Ronaldo the greatest of all time, no matter what side of the divide you're on. Edson Arantes do Nascimento. Edson Arantes do Nascimento, known by most as Pelé, is a sporting legend across multiple boundaries, the pioneer for a lot of factors we see contributing to the game today. He was certainly the greatest player of the 20th century, even though some would tell you that was Maradona. But in this article, we'll look at why the Argentine deity doesn't even come close to Pelé. Most football fans today are unaware of who Pelé was and the things he did. And yet, despite all his heroics in the past century, it seems like the younger generation of football fans are vexed at the very sight or sound of his name. Not to blame them, none of them ever had the privilege of watching Pelé, hell, not even the past generation, or the generation before that. Mbappé, the ace of the new generation. This generation, for example, is being treated to the likes of Kylian Mbappé. What a World Cup final performance from the lad. Erling Haaland, Vinicius Jr., Pedri Lopez, Bukayo Saka, and you could go on and on. These are the upcoming players of the new generation. Zidane orchestrating an acrobatic against Leverkusen in the UCL final of 2002. The immediate past generation saw the likes of Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Andres Iniesta, Xavi Hernandez, Luis Suarez, Cesc Fabregas, Frank Ribéry, and the list continues. Before that, football fans were treated to the likes of Ronaldinho Gaúcho, Ronaldo Nazario, Zinedine Zidane, Ricardo Kaká, Samuel Eto'o, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard. And even before that, there were the likes of Diego Maradona and Michel Platini, and before them, Johan Cruyff, Franz Beckenbauer, Gerd Müller, and Mario Kempes, just to name a few. And that's when you can look at the previous generation, which was the generation Pelé played in. The point is, with this little trip down history lane, we've just seen how far back Pelé played and the mere impossibility of any active football fan now to have been present when the demigod played at his prime. And that, of course, brings bias into the conversation, because you didn't watch Pelé, you wouldn't. Franz Beckenbauer lifting the World Cup trophy in 1974. Rate him higher than those who you've watched despite the stats staring you in the face. I'm telling you, in 10 years' time we'll start hearing chants like, Mbappé is greater than Pelé, Pelé can't lace his boots. Or start seeing tweets like, Haaland, Pelé. We've even started hearing chatter from new generation Ronaldo fans saying that Mbappé is greater than Messi and that he's the real GOAT. That just makes me laugh a lot. There's already talk about Mbappé being greater than Pelé, really? Now it'll be time to clear out a fact here. When talking about the greatest of all time, a lot of football fans tend to associate their decision with their opinion. They say things like, dash and dash is MY GOAT. Brew, there's nothing like your GOAT. As a matter of fact, there can only be one GOAT. And there's a big difference between the greatest player of all time and the best player you've personally witnessed on a pitch. You may like this player better because of his speed, his technique, accuracy, or because he's succeeding in a much more difficult era than footballers before him, an argument a lot of anti-Pelé fans make, which is just dumb. And that's because when comparing two people for who is greater, you compare them based on their achievements, impact, and accomplishments. And surprise, surprise, these factors are accurately recorded as statistics. In all walks of life, greatness is measured in numbers. The wealthiest man on earth is measured by the numbers on his net worth. The most popular man on earth is measured by the number of people who know him. The greatest tennis player, by the number of Grand Slams. The most populous nation, by the number of people within its borders. It just keeps going. And that's how it is. It's always about the numbers. Numbers tell people if they are progressing in life or going backwards. And in football, it's no different.